All right. Hello. My name is Rachel and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. So I am a health and fitness coach and I am a professor in health and physical education. I'm also a mom, I'm a wife, soon to be grandma. So I am just kind of restarting this channel and have a new series. So this is a summertime fitness series. So today's video is going to be 6 tips that you can implement right now to get you fit for the summer and really for life. But a lot of times during the summer, people are more focused on, being fit, feeling their best, and all of these tips I think are pretty simple. Maybe you already do some of them, but I never expect my clients to make a complete 180 overnight. So maybe with these 6 tips, you could just, pick one a day and implement it and just keep adding on. So the first one I'm going to talk about is, and these are in really no particular order. So the first one I'm going to talk about is training. So when you are trying to be a fit and active person, or maybe you want to age gracefully, maybe you want to have that toned look. When people come to me and they say, I just want to look toned, what that means and what that is that's just muscle definition. So I believe that strength training should be implemented for everybody, no matter your age. It's never too late to start hitting the gym and lifting some weights, because cardio is great for your heart health, but cardio is really not the best tool to build muscle and to shape your body into probably what you have envisioned for your ideal physique. And it's okay to have physique goals. It's okay to want to look good. Lifting weights will also make you feel good. It makes you age gracefully. I think it's like the fountain of youth, honestly. I am almost 51 years old, and I used to be a cardio bunny. I used to do endless cardio, thinking that was going to get me to the body of my dreams. And until I started lifting weights with intention, and I'm not talking about just using the same 10-pound dumbbells every time, I didn't really, and I'm still not at my goal, right? But I definitely am happier with how I feel and how I look now than I used to be when I would spend endless hours on the elliptical. But I still do cardio. So if you are not currently lifting weights, I would suggest, it doesn't have to be at a gym, although I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second, but I would suggest just starting with 2 days a week and just 2 full body workout sessions a week. Ideally, you would work up to 3 or 4. I currently lift 6 days a week, but I don't really think that's necessary for everybody. I am a bikini competitor and I have a very specific training plan that I'm following. And so for me, that works great. But for anybody else that's just starting out, twice a week is all you need to just get started. And it's important that you follow a structured plan, because you need to progressively improve, right? It's called progressive overload. Just like if you were involved in another sport, the more you practice something, the better you get at it. So if I was a basketball player, the more I practice, hopefully the better I would get at it. The same thing with lifting weights. And so you need to continue to challenge your muscles, because essentially what's happening is you pick up the 10-pound dumbbells and you're doing bicep curls with your 10-pound dumbbells, and your muscles are thinking like, oh wow, she's working me. That felt a little bit hard. I better get stronger. And then your body can adapt to that. And so you need to then progress either by, there's a lot of ways to progressively overload, but I'll just keep it simple here. Typically, it's either adding more weight. So 12-pound dumbbells, or adding more reps. So instead of doing 3 sets of 10, maybe I'm going to do 3 sets of 12. So that's the first thing that you need to do. And it's really important to follow a structured plan so you're not just going in willy-nilly. You should always know when you enter the gym what you're going to do that day. If you need help with any of this, I will leave my information down below, and I work with people of all fitness levels. So that's the first thing that you need to start doing is lifting weights. Where are we? Okay, there we are. All right, so we are back, and I'm going to do steps or tips 2 and 3 for you. Let me prop you up a little bit higher. There we go. So next one, you guessed it, water. Make sure you are hydrating yourself. So typically what's recommended is 1/2 ounce to 1 ounce per pound of body weight. So, you can do the math there, but instead of going with an exact amount like that, because everybody's hydration, your body likes to have, homeostasis when it comes to your hydration levels. So I just tell my clients, as long as your urine isn't yellow and it's not clear, but it's kind of like a pale yellow, you're probably good. Because the issue with telling people like drink 1 ounce per pound of body weight, well, if you're 300 pounds, that's a lot of water. Plus then people wonder, well, yeah, but I also drink sparkling water, or I have coffee, or I have like 2 Diet Cokes a day, or, what should I count? Really, any liquid counts towards your hydration status. Obviously, plain water is the best. Things like coffee and cola, things that are caffeinated, still, it's still liquid, but they serve as a diuretic also. So I just tell my clients to go by the status of your urine. So you probably need to drink more. If your urine is clear, then, you might want to just look and see how much you're drinking. So drink up. I like to start my day with a full cup of water. That's the first thing that I put into my body is ice water. So, just try starting your day, front load your water. And the next tip is protein. So I've got some 99.1 turkey here, and I've got some chicken breast. So this was already cleaned and kind of, cleaned. I'm going to throw this, but it was put in the freezer. So I'm going to pop this into the crock pot, and I don't add any liquid to it. So I'm going to just throw it in my crock pot. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to put it on for 4 hours. I like to add to my crock pot chicken, let's see. I like to add chili powder and oregano and some salt. So I've got my pink Himalayan salt just here in this little bowl. So I'm just going to sprinkle. I don't measure my salt right now. I do when I'm closer to competition. But it's so easy. When I tell my clients, just stick some chicken in a crock pot, saute up some ground turkey. You've got, this is going to last me, let's see, the ground turkey will probably be about 3 or 4 servings. And then that chicken, that's 2 larger chicken breasts, that might be 3 or 4 servings there too. So this is going to be lunch for today, ground turkey, chicken for the crock pot. Chicken that's in the crock pot will be tonight. And then I'll have, a couple more meals worth. I'll have lunch and dinner tomorrow, and then, the next day as well. I don't like to keep my food for longer than 2 days. So today's Thursday. I will eat this by Friday or share it, put it, if I don't end up finishing it, I'll add the chicken to Lulu's dinner or put some of the ground turkey in Jared's burritos or whatever. But it's when I make my protein, I just cook for myself for the most part. So hydrate and protein. All right, I'm gonna cook up my lunch, and I'll insert a picture right here of what this ground turkey turns into, just for some inspiration. All right. All right, I said I would show you my lunch, so here we go. We've got some salad. I love hot and cold salad. So underneath the ground turkey, by the way, I've mixed my ground turkey with cauliflower rice just to add some more volume. I've got some avocado that I'll put on rice cakes. Underneath the turkey is some air fried zucchini. And then I don't use salad dressing. I've just got this vinegar. This is coconut vinegar that I got from a little shop here in town. And then I'll just drizzle a little bit of this G. Hughes sweet chili sauce on top of the ground turkey. So I'm gonna eat, and I'll be back for the remaining tips, and hopefully next time you see me I will have showered, because I've yet to do that. So all right, so I thought we would be in a different outfit, but I am going to the gym soon to help a client out with some form, kind of do, I don't do like personal training, like I don't take clients through their workouts, but I'm just going to, usually I have my clients send me like training videos so I can check their form. And with this particular client, you know, she's a friend, and she goes to the same gym that I go to. And so we just set up a little session today where I can help her with her form on lots of different exercises from all of her different sessions. So just to make sure that her form is correct. So here is my fourth tip, and that is what I'm currently doing right now, which is walking. So walk more. So most of you, I mean, I think most people, I don't know, maybe just the people that I associate with have them, and so I'm just making an assumption, but I think many people have smartwatches or some way to keep track of their steps. So even if you don't have like a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, your phone can probably track your steps. I'm not sure about Samsung, but I know, you know, the heart or the health app on Apple products, you know, you can track your steps. Obviously you have to keep your phone on you, but that way you can see how many steps you're getting. So I'm just going to tell you to get more steps. I think I'm just going to turn around here instead of go back out on the road. So just getting more than what you are currently getting. So if after a couple of days you see that you're averaging like 5,000 steps, try to get 7,000. If you're currently getting 7,000 steps, try to get 10,000. If you're getting 10,000 steps, you know, that's pretty good. You know, like that's kind of, we hear that number like 10,000 steps a day. And that is pretty good. But if that's easy for you, maybe you have a very active job, and you can implement a few more walks, you know, like right now, I am doing a little digestion walk. I love to go for a walk after I eat. I think it just helps, you know, the digestion process. It just makes me feel a little bit more energized. Yeah, so I'm just taking, you know, the little loop around our neighborhood takes about 15 or 20 minutes. So sometimes I'll just do that, and or go a little bit longer depending on, you know, I never am one that I look at my watch at the end of the day and I'm like, oh my gosh, I only got X amount of steps. I need to go for a walk and it's bedtime. You know, I mean, I'd rather go to sleep. That being said, I don't have a problem getting steps. The minimum I've gotten over the past few weeks is about 16,000 a day. And I know that's a lot, and I don't expect people to get that much. I just love to walk. It's summer. I don't have a job where I'm sitting down at a desk. I mean, I do a lot of work with my clients where I'm on the computer, but I'm not at a desk for like 8 hours a day. So if you're currently getting 10,000, maybe get up to 12 or 15,000 and just moving around a little bit more, finding opportunities to move. If you have a desk job, maybe consider getting a walking pad if you can still concentrate and focus on your work while you are walking. Walk instead of, if you work in an office, instead of sending an email to a coworker, go walk down to their office and deliver the message. If it's something that you can, if it's not anything that needs to be documented in an email. You know what I mean? Like, just try to find some opportunities to walk. Park farther away. Use the stairs, not the elevator. All those things. So just try to walk more. All right, here is your next tip. And if you can't guess, I'm kind of lounging in my bed right now. It is getting sleep. So, sleep, it is so underrated in terms of how good it is for you when it comes to what you look like. Obviously, we know how we feel when we don't get a good night's sleep or when we get a good night's sleep, but actually, sleep is huge when it comes to making progress with gaining muscle and losing body fat. So, gaining muscle when you're sleeping, that is when your body repairs. That is when your body is actually, you're not actually building the muscle when you're in the gym. That is the stimulus for building muscle, but your body is actually recovering and repairing and building the actual tissue while you are at rest. So sleep is super important if you are trying to build muscle. If you are trying to lose body fat, it's equally as important. It is, there's been research and studies where, and I don't have the research right in front of me that I'm reading, obviously, but basically they had individuals following the same calorie deficit. So they were trying to lose weight, and they had the same individuals sleep deprived versus getting good quality sleep. They lost weight when they got quality sleep, and they did not lose weight when they were sleep deprived. So yeah, it's just really beneficial for either goal, right? So obviously, yes, it helps you feel better. We all know the recommendation, 7 to 9 hours. Find your sweet spot. For me, 7 hours isn't enough. I actually do really great with 9 hours. That's when I feel my best. But set yourself up for a good bedtime routine, and the all the things like sleep in a cool dark room. Personally, this is what I do, so I'll just tell you kind of like my setup. So most nights I'll take a shower before bed, and that kind of cools your internal body temperature down to take like a warm shower or bath. I will use a fan, so I'll have like white noise or a fan going. Even when I'm traveling, there's this app called the Fan app, and you don't have to pay for it. It just sounds like a fan. So I use that when I'm traveling. Um, and I think it's literally called the Fan app. I don't have a dark room, but I sleep with a sleep mask. I choose to not have like blackout curtains. I like my big windows. They kind of look out to, um, here, I'll show you my little view. So we've got a nice little view out here with a fountain, a little beach down there, a little pond. So I like my little nighttime view. The fountain stays on and is lit. So I like to have the daylight, and I like to wake up with the natural light coming in also. But I sleep with a sleep mask, so it's still like pitch black as far as I'm concerned. And let's see. I don't get on my phone when I'm in bed. I don't scroll. I don't look at TikTok. Why did I even say that? I don't even get on TikTok ever. But Instagram or anything, I don't check emails. I don't engage my mind that way. And I read though before I go to bed. So I read. And yeah, that's that's my nighttime routine. I read when I get in bed. I look forward to getting in bed. Your bed should be a place where it's weird right now that I'm filming this and I'm in bed because it's not bedtime. But your bed should be just utilized for bedtime activities, mostly sleeping, right? Okay. Um, and not like just eating or I don't know, like I don't know what else people do in bed. I mean, okay, I do know, but you know what I mean? Like um when people say like save your bed should just be utilized for bed, I just gave that as advice. And I can't think of like why would you I guess people maybe sometimes like just hang out and like read in bed at other times of the day. I don't know, basically like the point of that is when you're in bed, your body should know that it's night time. Okay, so that's the point. Um, yeah, so sleep, 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 because that is when your body repairs itself. So if you are currently getting less than 7 hours of sleep, try to go to bed earlier. You're probably not able to change what time you wake up because you probably have a boss or children or both or just other obligations. You have to be an adult and do things. You know, you can't just sleep until like noon if you wanted to. I don't remember the last time I slept till noon. I remember the last time I slept till 9, and that was 2 years ago when we went to Italy, but that's because it was the first night. And so 9 a.m. in Italy was like 2, 3 a.m. in Michigan. But other than that, it's about 6. I wake up about 6. So I get in bed. Yes, I'm a grandma. Oh, I actually am technically almost a grandma. But I go to bed early because I don't like to feel like crap. I don't want to stay up until 11 o'clock at night and get up at 6. That's just not enough for me. So I go to bed. I shut my light off at 9 or 9:30, and I typically just wake up around 6. So yes, but if you're going to bed at 11 and you have to get up at like 5 o'clock for work, there's 6 hours. Like, try to set it back like 15 minutes every few days. So, 10:45, 10:30, but don't just try to go to bed 2 hours earlier one night because you're just going to lay there and your body's going to be like, why am I in bed? So, um, yeah, get some sleep. So, it's not currently bedtime for me. So, I'm going to get out of bed so my body doesn't think that we just use the bed for just laying around. I mean, I don't lay around at any point during the day on anything. I do relax at night and like watch a show after dinner. And that's kind of my wind down, but I don't watch a show in bed. I don't have a TV in my bedroom. Um, yeah, big believer in that. Don't get on your phone before bed. You're on your phone enough. You're probably watching this video on your phone, so that's good, but hopefully you're not in bed. If you are, it's okay, just this once. Just finish watching this video, but next time, watch it during your awake hours. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna close out the video here. I'm just sitting in my closet. I mean, I wasn't sitting in my closet. I came into my closet just to film this last little clip because lots of things going on in the house right now. So the last tip, and I'm going to close out the video, but the last tip is socializing, specifically going out to eat. And can you still eat out at your favorite restaurants and make progress? And I am here to say, yes, you can. But you have to keep this in mind because sometimes I'll have, people say to me, well, I'm, good Monday through Friday, and good is a relative term. But I'm good Monday through Friday, but then Saturday and Sunday, I like to just kind of, you know, reward myself for a hard work week. I like to go out to brunch. I like to, get pizza with my family. I like to go out to dinner on Saturday night or whatever. And you can still do those things, but you still have to be mindful, because if you think that, 5 days out of the week you're spot on with your nutrition, and then 2 days of the week you kind of leave it to chance or kind of go willy-nilly or perhaps off the rails, just Saturday and Sunday, or maybe Friday and Saturday, whatever, two weekend days, that's 104 days a year. That's a lot. It can totally undo all the work that you've done all week. If you're trying to lose fat, you're in a deficit and you're trying to, get leaner, you can for sure take yourself out of that deficit with a couple weekend restaurant meals. But you can still dine out and make great progress, but you just have to be mindful of your choices. If you're tracking your nutrition, if you're like logging your food, when you go out to a restaurant, pick things that are easy to track. So instead of lasagna, for example, which is going to be very hard to track, because you don't know exactly what's in it. You don't know the ratios of everything, like cheese to noodles to sauce to veggies to meat. Track something that you can separate the ingredients out. Like, for example, fish tacos. You can see, oh, I've got 3 corn tortillas. I can, once you start tracking your food, you can be really good at estimating, even if I'm not saying take a scale with you to weigh out the fish, but, oh, it looks like this might be, 3 ounces of mahi-mahi. I've got maybe a quarter cup of cabbage. I've got half an avocado, whatever. You're going to track each thing separately. I wouldn't just track fish tacos, because fish tacos is going to be pretty general, right? So I would separate out the ingredients. Also, sometimes people think they're being virtuous by picking a salad. So, I have people say to me, well, I went out to eat, but I just got a Caesar salad. Look up the nutrition for a Caesar salad. Like, go look up, I don't know, Cheesecake Factory, Caesar salad. One, you're not getting much nutrition because you've got some romaine. And then it's Parmesan cheese, Caesar dressing, and some croutons. Certainly yummy, but it's going to be just pretty much fat calories, pretty high in fat from that Caesar dressing. If you really wanted the burger, but you think you're being, quote unquote good by picking the Caesar salad, you're not getting any protein there. Go ahead and just get the burger, but you don't have to get the deep fried jalapenos, cheese, avocado, special sauce, bacon burger, right? Just get a plain burger, have maybe a side salad, or just, a few fries. That's going to be much better than that Caesar salad. But again, like when I go out to eat, I'll decide on what protein source I want. Get a protein appetizer and a protein entree. So I might get shrimp cocktail, or like tuna crudo, or if I'm at an Asian restaurant, there's tons of sushi options that you can get that are a lot, leaner, and it's, basically just fish and rice, and that's going to be a great choice. Or maybe think, if you're not tracking your food, think of one maybe splurge item. So you're not going to get the nachos and the margarita and the fried ice cream at a Mexican restaurant, but maybe you're going to just get a drink, and then maybe you're going to get some fajitas with shrimp, and maybe just have 1 or 2 tortillas and all the veggies. Or maybe you want dessert, so you're going to get shrimp cocktail and maybe a salad with grilled chicken on it and just a tiny drizzle of dressing. So you're picking maybe one splurge item. It's not your last meal of your life, so you don't have to get all the things on the menu, right? So just kind of pick and choose. Think of it like a budget. Again, that's a good analogy, because if you've got a certain amount of calories to work with, you want to spend them wisely. Just like if you have a certain income, you need to make sure you're paying your bills first before you can get the splurge items. So pick your protein, and then see what kind of produce you can have. So can I get the, steamed broccoli? Can I get a side salad? Always ask for dressing on the side, so at least you can manage how much is getting put on it. Do you really need the cheese and the bacon and the croutons on the salad? Probably not. Opt for the lower cal veggies. It also helps fill you up. It also is a better nutrient profile. So, closing out the video then here. So remember those 6 tips in no particular order. We've got sleep, we've got protein, we've got lifting weights, we've got making smart choices at a restaurant, we've got walking more, and we've got staying hydrated. So those are your 6 quick tips to make sure that you are staying healthy during the summer. And watch for the next video in this series. Well, I'll dive a little bit further into nutrition and show you a full day of eating. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all the things. And if you need help with any of your goals, my information is down below. You can reach out to me and I will help you with all of these things and more. Thanks.